What is up, everybody? It's your boy Verse here today, and we're going to talk about both Microsoft and Nintendo. Apparently, each respective company was asked where they're going to raise their price as well, following Sony with inflation concerns with their consoles, and both Microsoft and Nintendo said no. So, like this first example right here, this first post, Microsoft has confirmed they will not adjust the price of the Xbox Series X and S. So that's a no for this. They're going to remain the same price. And while when Nintendo was asked the same thing, Nintendo confirms there are no plans to raise the price of Nintendo Switch as well. So this is gonna be an interesting turn of events with only Sony having their price increase for their consoles. So very interesting, especially like during like the holiday season, like Black Friday time period, around Christmas time period, or like these other countries' Christmas equivalent holidays. I was like, all Microsoft gotta do is just decrease the price by like maybe like $50 for these different consoles. And I can definitely see Microsoft getting a big foothold in those other countries that the Xbox Series X is not doing so well, and to get a huge advantage over Sony, because if Sony is charging more than Microsoft's charging less, at least like $100 difference, then I see more people probably getting an Xbox over PlayStation, to be honest. So it's just interesting how this decision from Sony just leaves the ball. It's kind of like they just fall on their own sword at this moment. Like they just put a sword out and just doing a big belly flop on that sword right now. That's how Sony's pretty much doing with this price increase. Like I don't know how this is a good move for Sony. Like how bad could it possibly be that you really got to increase the prices? Like you really couldn't just eat that cost. Like you like really. You're pretty much making Nintendo and Microsoft not really have to do anything at this point, and they already have an advantage because they're cheaper at this point. So it's interesting. But let's see what people got to say about this. Okay, so already we got a Sony fanboy who says they're not increasing the price because no one wants the Series S/X. Okay. Nobody wants it. That's why it's selling extremely well, especially like in America. Nobody wants it though. Who cares? What do people respond to this guy with? This was like a console no one wants. Yeah, it had several months when the Xbox Series S and X was doing extremely well. Even worldwide, it was at even beat Sony in a few points worldwide as well too. So imagine hating on a console like Grow Up Kid is just a device with a different name. Yeah, they're pretty much identical, so it's kind of crazy what people do hate on Xbox Series X. Like, it's almost identical to the PlayStation 5. There's just a few exclusives, which is like 10% of the actual games is different, so. Why do people like you even exist? There was no point to you saying that. You're cringy as F. Grow up, you man child. Dude is just getting a roast in the comment section casually. Stay salty. Right? Only stupid fanboys don't want it. You really can't be this stupid or childish. LOL, I find it so sad when a person who has no clue about the amount of console sales saying this. Go join a cult called... Wow. Okay, I'm not going to touch on that, but jeez. Wow. Then again, like, I guess, like, why do they come up here with these comments? Like, I expect us not to get roasted in these comments, but it's not like a stupid comment like this. Like, jeez. Okay, here we got another Sony film right here saying that's because you can still get one in stores. Although nobody wants that thing. Once again, saying nobody wants the Xbox Series X or S. Well, it's like it's obviously people want it. It's selling, so obviously people want it. But okay. So this person says it's a scam, referring to the Xbox Series X. Getting it for $500. Imagine if they increased. Difference is PS5 was worth the price increase. Xbox is not even close. So he's justifying the PS5 being worth that price increase. Really. I'm pretty sure he probably got roasted as well. Bro, they are almost internally identical. They're increasing their price to cover their own costs, not because it's worth more. Got a PS5 and is nowhere near the worth the price increase. Game Pass is far superior than buying a more expensive PS5. Stockholm syndrome be like, pretty much. Like Sony keep abusing their customer base and they keep asking for more. Like pretty much at this point. Stop lying, LMAO. PS5 has literally no games on it. You need to buy PS4 games and then upgrade them to PS5. Ninja, Shut Up, and Touch Grass both are good. My Sony Pony Detector is off the charts right now. You're basically paying $50 more for the console. 10 $4 games in UK is even higher than the product hasn't changed. PS Plus is an inferior service with almost the same price as Game Pass. It's just a bad business move. Xbox is closing the gap this gen. I love PlayStation games, but smart people just want to save money. Sad fangirls right here. Okay. Cope harder. A weirdo. Is this what the Cope looks like? Yeah, that's kind of was what Cope looks like. The PS5 is not worth the price increase. That's nothing but your stupid console tribalism projection. You're better off getting a PC with that price change. Heavily in denial, still hating on other companies, whilst his favorite is making mad moves, they be having your eyeballs next. Okay. Some of these comments are just kind of wild. Like, geez. Y'all sound insane trying to justify Sony's price increase. They're pretty much just calling them a cult. Yeah, it's kind of, like I keep saying, it's kind of like some cult-like behavior at this point. So grown males still being loyal to pieces of plastic they play video games on. Sony fanboys are the reason why people don't take gamers seriously. Grow up. A clown? This is the most fanboy response I've ever heard. This is exactly why there's too many idiots out there paying stupid amounts for a console. You get validation for a brand just because, when in reality it doesn't hold up to its actual value. Game Pass is light years ahead of PlayStation in terms of service and value. You sound so stupid. Look at this idiot. You're justifying a multi-million-dollar company raising their price on their product. Stop the D-sucking Sony gang. Idiots like you are one of the many reasons I don't game anymore. You're such a brand loyalist that has got a bit gross. They're practically the same thing, just like a little different exclusives. I think the PS5 is great and all, but it's one of the ugliest consoles ever. Yeah, kind of true. But yeah, like I say, Xbox Series X and PS5 is very identical. You got the exclusives, which is maybe like 10% of a difference in games, but they're pretty much the same. Most people, especially like most casuals, are playing the same third-party games. People are playing on Xbox as well too, so it's not that big of a difference for these. The way that these Sony guys just be saying like the Xbox Series X is so terrible. Like really, it's pretty much identical to the PS5. Like it's pretty much like it ain't that much of a difference. Yeah, so it's just hilarious. So you guys keep defending this price point, and it's like they say that Sony needs to increase the price because of inflation, but the other companies are not doing the same thing. So do they really need to at the end of the day? F Sony, wow. uh, This person says they're in the last place. They're in no position to increase the price of their consoles. In fact, they already went in the opposite direction with the Series L. I mean, Series S. Well, isn't Nintendo in first place and they're not increasing their prices? So what's the excuse for that one? Like Nintendo's in first place. You want to go by that? Uh, uh, So this guy says he's been with Sony since day one, PS1. Imagine defending Sony here. This is the first time in memory I've seen a console that's already profitable per unit go up in price post-launch instead of down. A W to Microsoft. So even a hardcore Sony fan since the PS1 days that says, hey, this is some weird stuff from Sony right here. So at least somebody calls them out. Okay, so this is apparently weird nerds protecting PlayStation from getting just completely shielding PlayStation from valid criticism. Okay, which is pretty accurate at this point because people got valid criticism like why you increasing the prices. And then you got the Sony fanboys to go on head first, using their whole body to protect Sony at this point. I love how Sony just gave the ponies a big FU and they're out here defending that big FU price increase. The salt is just so delicious. Xbox Series X is the most powerful console on the market with exclusives lined up in the future, plus Game Pass that offers discounts. Is a match in heaven with no price hikes in the imminent future. Yeah. Not surprised Microsoft is doing well while Sony is failing. They've been overpricing all products while not having parts to actually sell them, as well as taking 30% more from customers or something like that, which is what resulted in a $6 billion lawsuit against them. Yeah, so Sony is just not just getting... They have been in the news recently for just all the negative, wrong reasons, and it's just like, wow. Like, when was the last time we heard any type of good Sony news at all? Maybe like the newest controller, you could probably count that as good Sony news, but just there's just been a landfall of just bad Sony news after bad Sony news this entire week. It seems like. Yeah, man, that's a cold move as Sony. People waiting ages to get a hand on one. That is true too, because the PS5 is really not that easy to get. So not only do you got it being hard to get for certain people in these different regions, but now they're just increasing the price of it. So that is kind of wild, right there. When you think about it, that's just kind of wild. People wait ages to get a hand on one, and right before the holidays, you're gonna bump your prices. Damn, that's blatant money grab if I've ever seen one. Oof. Especially since the PS5 has been selling for a profit since mid last year. Definitely a money grab for even profit. Guess they took the class in how to shoot yourself in the foot for greed 101. We don't do that here. Sony's about to increase the price. Microsoft about to increase their player count. Yeah. I definitely see Microsoft getting a big boost from this. Like I see a lot of people probably buying Xbox, they're joining PC to play their games from this price increase Sony is doing. So I'm gonna include it right here. This video is getting kind of long. But I definitely want to see your thoughts down below on both Sony and Nintendo declining to raise their prices while Sony is continuing to increase their prices. So definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.